But we're good, I think.
All right.
Again, I'm on your camera and you're on mine.
I know. I noticed that too. I just didn't say anything.
Yeah.
I like being on the good camera.
You know, I just love having 3 Jedi here.
I know, right?
Just a couple of Jedi.
Joey Jedi.
Joey Jedi. That's pretty awesome.
We're on a mission from God. Welcome
to the Everything Goes Wrong show. I mean the Bleacher Brothers show.
That's right.
Tito, we are in Cincinnati. What a place this is.
I mean, this impressed me.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to expect. I'd heard about it, but I was really impressed.
We're going to get to that in a second.
Yeah.
But before we do, let's hit them with the highlights.
Now that I'm looking back, I can see all the signs I tried to fill in the cracks that were spread in my mind, but I was all out of hope, lost in an endless maze. The emptiness had unfolded just like a void, but you broke the coldness somehow and lit up a flame.
So I gotta say, Father Tito threw out the first pitch a couple nights ago. I threw out just a few days later, and it is a surreal experience.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't quite know what to expect.
It's one thing, because you and I, we both played baseball. We know we can make that throw.
Yeah.
But to do it in front of thousands of people is different.
Well, and just you get one throw.
Yeah.
Because when you warm up, you're like, oh, that one slid. Oh, there we go, we got it. You know, you just kind of put that first one. It's like,
well, and we don't get a chance to warm up. Not
no,
really.
there was no warm up. My family was there, which was awesome. It was my birthday, which was awesome.
Yep.
There were like 12 people in the stands, which was typical.
Yeah.
Sorry. But it was cool. You know, I floated a little bit, but man, to be on the field, on a major league field, to touch that mound, something to it.
I was excited to be able to catch for you, to be perfectly honest. Yeah.
That little tandem thing, that was
Yeah.
pretty awesome. So we were in Tampa. That was fun. We also went up to Atlanta.
Yes, we did.
Which is, what a place. And things were a little weird for us.
They were a little bit weird, yeah. I mean, first of all, let me just say, Tampa to Atlanta, completely different. Even at Miami to Atlanta, it's very different. Atlanta has its own thing, which again, we'll get into later. But yeah, I mean, we had an experience, didn't we?
An experience, yeah. So we drive in, it's pouring down rain the whole time, and we're just struggling. We can't see anything. We're thinking the game's gonna be canceled. And we pull into one parking lot, it's gonna be $50 to park. We're like, ain't doing that. So we're like, go around, we can't find anything. We're like, whatever, the first thing we find we're gonna take. It was $60. Fine, whatever. So we get to the stadium and our tickets don't work. Like, you gotta be kidding me. And so I call our contact and he doesn't pick up. It's like, oh shoot, we're gonna have to buy tickets now. He calls me back a few minutes later. He's like, oh, I forgot to tell you, we upgraded your tickets. Tito, upgrade might be an understatement.
Yeah, I think so. That's the understatement of the century. We were in the, what was the name of it? The Diamond Club? No,
the Delta Club?
The Delta Club. Yeah, that's right. The Diamond Club is here. The Delta Club, which was exuberant, I think is the word.
Yes, we had nice leather seats. Someone came to take our order.
Yep.
All the food was free, which we only found out after we bought 2 beers and 2 hot dogs.
Right.
Like, well, there's another $40 down the drain.
The guy said, why did you buy those things?
Yeah, what are you doing? Don't buy any more food.
Right.
Oh my gosh, but an incredible place. But before we got here, Cincinnati, our last stop, we stopped at an incredible place.
Yeah, we took a slight detour and we went to League Stadium. For those of you who don't know, that is where they filmed a lot of A League of Their Own, which is one of our favorite movies, definitely one of your top movies.
Incredible movie.
Yeah.
We filmed a little segment, There's No Crying in Baseball.
Yep.
Say, Evelyn, can I ask you a question? You got a moment? Which team do you play for?
Well, I'm a peach.
Well, I was just wondering, because I couldn't figure out why you would throw home when we've got a 2-run lead. You let the tying run get on second, and we lost the lead because of you. Now you start using your head. That's that love that's 3 feet above your ass. Are you crying?
No.
Are you crying? Are you crying? There's no crying. There's no crying in baseball.
We also got to talk with someone who runs the place, who walked us around, told us a little history, which was pretty cool, which we'll share right now.
Well, a lot of the signage is original. It's been repainted once, I believe, is all. The Budweiser sign is original, and the story is that Budweiser paid $1 million to have that signage for the movie, which, when you think about it and how often the movie's been watched, was probably a pretty good deal.
That was cheap, yeah.
Yeah. And the Harold Collins sign is original. Harold Collins was the builder of the stadium, so he put a sign out there for himself.
That makes sense.
Yes,
yeah, I think that's
it
worth
does.
it.
The slide you see over there, you see the pool when they
That wasn't in the movie.
that was not in the movie. They built a barn around the slide because they wanted to take it all down, but the city had just put it up, and that was not going to happen. So
the kids of the city, we didn't want that to
yes,
happen.
yes. I will say, and I didn't meet him or anything, but Tom Hanks was very good about entertaining people and being very,
I bet.
very cordial and friendly with everybody here, as was Gina Davis and a number of the others. So, so it was a good experience for, and we came out with this. You know, what a
Any
what a
Madonna
great
stories
thing.
from?
Oh, she probably wasn't at the top of the community's list of
heard, yeah.
of the celebrities that were here.
I mean, I think it was really cool that she actually got to be she got to be there for the filming of the movie. Unfortunately, she got edited out. Some of her friends made it into the movie.
Which is cool.
But she got to be there. She told us some of the stories. The little kid who played Stillwell is a kid from the town. That's just
pretty
so
awesome.
cool.
Not just an actor, so they picked someone local.
Yeah.
So those are some awesome things. Those are the highlights. So of course we're going to all 30 stadiums this summer, which means we got to rank them all.
Yeah, we're coming up with a ranking system, and I think it's actually been a little bit contentious. Do we do this? Do we do that?
Yeah.
You know, what system are we going to use?
So we've got the most objective, foolproof plan. It is not subjective in any way. I don't want to hear anything in the comments. We're rank them 3 criteria here. We got the stadium itself,
right.
The beauty and the aesthetics. What is the design?
Right.
Number 2, we're going to do fan experience.
Yep.
What are things, around the stadium? What can you do? What are the attractions? And then 3, what's the view? What's the location that it's in, the overall ambiance?
Yes.
And so we start with Miami. Tito, what do you think? Design.
Design-wise, it's like everyone else said, we're going to design the stadium this way, and Miami said, nah, we'll do it this way. It's very different.
Yeah.
Different does not necessarily equal better, but it is interesting to look at from the outside. It kind of reminds me of a big yacht, I'm not going to lie.
A big yacht. I think the outside looks awful. The inside is fine. I love the big windows that unfortunately were closed while we were there, and the roof, if it were open, it would be great. So for me, I'm going to go, here's my 3 scores. We're going to go design, 6. Solid, okay. Fan experience, 5. There was a lot of dead space. There wasn't a whole lot. There were some batting cages out front, but there wasn't a lot of fun things. And then overall ambience, I'm going to go 7, because I think if with that window open, the skyline looked pretty awesome.
So for design, I'm going to give it a 7, because I think if the roof had opened, if the doors had been open, it would have been much cooler. It was a rainy day, so you know.
But it's Miami, so I'm sure it rains a lot.
Yeah. For fan experience, it's really interesting. There are a lot of opportunities to kind of upgrade and to do really cool things. I don't know.
Potential doesn't get a good score, though.
Right. I don't know that it's going to. It's all focused on baseball. It's definitely focused on an experience.
Yeah.
And I think Miami struggles with the fact that it's not a big baseball town. I'm going to give it like I would say a 6.
Okay.
For general ambiance, for the surrounding area, it was interesting. I actually kind of liked the neighborhood that it was in. General ambiance wasn't super great. I'm going to go 5 though.
Ooh, okay. So we move on to Tampa, which unfortunately is kind of one of the worst ones, universally accepted. And I kind of agree. It wasn't designed as a baseball stadium. It's just got that turf and the kind of, I'd say the design, I don't know, a 3. I think fan experience has got the stingrays, which is kind of cool. But we walked down a corridor and there was nothing. It was kind of creepy. We were in the bowels and there was just
the ground level
empty. So fan experience, although I did like some of the seating arrangements that were kind of cool, I think I'm going to give it a 3 as well.
Okay.
And then surrounding area view, I mean, obviously it's a dome, but even just around it, there's not really much of a feel to it. I'm giving it a 3. I'm giving 3 across the boards.
All right. So for the design of it, yeah, it wasn't great. I will say I'll give that a 4. For the general fan experience, I want to give it a point because the people who worked there were awesome.
Yeah.
Super friendly people. They wanted to talk. The customer service
Food
was
was
amazing.
great.
Yeah, food was really good. So I would give that a 5, a little bit higher because than the rest of it because of the people who worked there. And then for the general ambiance, it really wasn't very good. I'll give it a 3.
Yeah. Moving on to Atlanta. Newest stadium, super nice. Just the nicest one I think we'll see in terms of luxury.
Yep.
That doesn't necessarily mean baseball feel. For me, it was a little too curated, and it didn't really have a soul. It kind of lacked a spirit to it. It was just kind of a money grab, if I can say that. I mean, everything was super nice. I can imagine hanging out there. Yeah. So I'd say design, probably a 6, 7. I'm gonna go 7. I think it was a nice design. Fan experience, I don't know, maybe a 5, middle of the road.
Hey everyone, Father Casey here, late at night editing, realizing I made a mistake there. It was a long day of filming and I didn't mean to say 5. It's actually an 8. This place is packed filled with fan experiences. In fact, it might lean too heavily into that away from the game, but you've got your fan zone, you've got your zip line for the kids, you've got some high-end stuff, but you got a lot of stuff that everyone can enjoy, so didn't mean to say 5, definitely an 8.
But the ambiance was, I would say, probably an 8. I mean, it was really cool. You got the little bit of skyline. You've got the whole battery around it, all these restaurants and things to do. There was things to do in the stadium, so I thought that was great.
Yeah, I mean, it did have a lot of Braves symbols, but I think if you took those symbols, replaced them with another team's symbols, that stadium could kind of be dropped anywhere.
Yeah, nothing particular about it, nothing memorable, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it did have that really cool museum kind of behind home plate.
So that's just a little fan experience.
Yeah, that was really cool. But in general, in the shape of it, in the structure, didn't really say Atlanta. So I would agree it was really nice. I would agree with the 7. As for the fan experience, I would go a little bit higher. You said 6, right?
5, 6, something like that.
Yeah, I would give that a 7 as well.
Okay.
I mean, it was really cool. It was a lot of fun. A lot of really cool things to do. But definitely geared on an experience, not necessarily centered around baseball. And then for general ambiance, I mean, I'd give it an 8. It was really cool. It was really nice.
I mean, it's the sort of place that you would go not on game day.
Right.
And I think that's what they wanted it to be. And it was cool. Finally, we are here. We are at the Great American Ballpark, and I gotta say, it is a great ballpark.
Yeah.
The design is great. We got walked around early before the game, and there were like neighborhoods in the stadium, and there's a particular feel for each one. There's the riverboat outside, which is very Cincinnati, very much this river. It shoots flames, which was pretty awesome. So design is gonna get probably an 8 for me. I mean, it's pretty distinct, it's pretty cool. The fan experience, I'm gonna go with a 10. I mean, I know that's crazy. I'm giving it a 10, and for the reason for this is we've got the museum right here. It's the second largest baseball museum in the world. Okay, right behind Cooperstown, and it was awesome. Just a very cool museum. There are batting cages here. There's a wiffle ball game that the kids can play. There's a place for maternity, and you can go like a breastfeeding place and family. It just felt like a great place. All these statues and history. I just wanted to walk around for hours. And then the general ambience, I would say it's nice. I would say it's perfect. I'd say 6. There's a beautiful, kind of river and bridge here. There's a park, but it's not the greatest I think we'll see. Yeah.
The word that comes to mind for me is character.
Yeah.
This stadium has a lot of character. Whether it's the concession stands on the inside, which have like a very brick and mortar kind of a feel. As you talked about the museum, their Hall of Fame here, that was really cool. And they curate the museum periodically, so now it's Los Reds, right, featuring the Latin players, which is really, really cool.
Awesome, yeah.
The Latin history of baseball is fantastic. And so all of those things coming together, overall beauty and aesthetics, a solid 8 for sure. The fan experience, I'm gonna go with a 9. I know you gave it a 10. I'm leaving room for potentially something better. I doubt we'll get anything better.
I can change the rules and give something an 11.
But I'm leaving room for that. But I do want to, part of me wants to give it that perfect score. And then for the general ambiance, I really liked it. I'm going to give it an 8 also.
Yeah, so if you're looking for a great ballpark to go to, the Great American Park.
This might be one of the highest scoring ballparks of the season.
Knew it would be, but it's been great to be here.
Yeah.
And that is your rankings. We don't want to hear anything. Actually, we want to hear your scores. What do you think? What did we do?
Yeah.
Awesome places. Moving on to, I think, our favorite segment. Got some city flavors. And Tito, we went to quintessential Cincinnati today.
We did. We went to Skyline Chili.
Let's see how it went.
Yeah.
Oh, yum.
So we're here in Cincinnati, and if there's one thing that people from Cincinnati are proud of that has nothing to do with sports, it's Skyline Chili. We're right outside of Skyline. We're going to check it out. It is controversial, but hey, we got to give it a fair shot. That's it at the counter. Thank you very much. Yeah, sure. I think I know what we're getting, but
I think we want you to pick for us.
Yes.
What should we get?
Now, do you like bean or onions?
Bean or onions? I mean, I'm okay
Yes.
with either one, yeah.
Okay, well, we're gonna get you both a small 5-way and a cheese coney apiece. What are
Okay.
you drinking?
Oh, yes, please. We got to start by explaining what the three-way is, because the three-way is the signature dish. Steamed spaghetti covered with the original secret recipe chili and topped with a mound of shredded cheese. Now, the four-way adds onions or beans. The five-way adds onions and beans, and that's what we're getting, five-way. In addition to that, we're getting the cheese coney. Skyline's classic chili cheese coney. Skyline's classic cheese coney, especially made hot dog in a steamed bun with mustard covered with the original secret recipe and diced onions and a mound of shredded cheese. That sounds delicious.
Did you say mustard?
Yes.
No.
No mustard?
No.
Right off for you, and then that'll give you more elbow room
Okay.
to cut
Okay.
instead of twirl.
Okay.
That way you get all the ingredients and it keeps it from splashing around.
So slide it onto this
yeah,
plate?
it'll slide right down.
Okay. It's great to have a pro available to tell you how it's done. All right. Fantastic. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, hon.
Here we go. We've got the cheese, we've got onions, beans, we've got the chili, and we've got the spaghetti. Now, I have had the chili before, but not served as this in this particular way. So I'm kind of excited because I feel like this is the way it's supposed to be had.
Spaghetti?
Well, I mean, this is the way they meant for it to be had.
What are you tasting?
The first thing that hits me is the chili with a little bit of cinnamon flavor.
Cinnamon.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna lie. When you read all the ingredients, you don't think that it's gonna taste good, but it's really good. They come together, and I mean, you think beans and cinnamon and meats and oyster crackers and cheese. Doesn't seem like it, but you know, the sum of its parts is much greater than the whole.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's not the right phrase, but you know what I meant.
Yeah. All right, the coney just came in. I'm gonna give this a try. I mean, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I like it. I could do this. Okay, so I was not expecting much. I definitely wasn't expecting that. That was really good. I've had Skyline Chili served every which way, apparently, except for the right way. So that's on you, John Boise. That's on you.
So Tito, you've had Skyline Chili before.
Yep.
Thoughts?
So I treat chili very much like the way I treat barbecue. Every region has their own particular style. I grew up in the Southwest, or I spent a long time in the Southwest. So my approach to chili is very kind of Southwest influenced.
Sure.
Southwest flavors, the way I cook it, no. I do a lot of Latin flavors, Latin seasonings as well. But Skyline Chili is its own thing.
Yeah, I think if you change the name from chili to
meat sauce,
yeah, it'd be fine.
Yeah.
I think it just throws people off. It's good.
Yeah.
It's just, I think the psychological thing you got to get
right.
over.
So people call it, you know, when you call it chili, people get upset about that. Every region does their own thing.
Right. So hey, you're in Cincinnati, you got to give it a try.
Give it a try.
Love it. And last but not least, we have a new segment here, what we're calling a walk and talk. We met with one of our friars, just get a little view of what it's like to be a friar in a different region of the country.
Right.
Hi, Tito and Casey. Come on into St. Francis Sarah Friary. We're
Thank
glad
you.
you're here.
Appreciate it. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm
Excellent.
doing good. I'd like to show you around a little bit. First, we'll come to this little parlor.
And for all of our benefit, what's your name?
So my name is Mark Sainer.
And where are you from?
I'm from Dayton, Ohio.
And how long have you been a friar?
I've been a friar for 40 years.
What first attracted you to religious life?
So a guy I knew as a high school student named Richard Rohr, who was 30 years old, and his message just touched me.
Did you know that you wanted to be a priest when you were younger?
No, I did not. I wasn't sure what I was going to be, but priest wasn't on that list.
And what's your current role with the friars?
My current role is as the provincial minister. For those that don't know that's the head of the province of St. John the Baptist, and an opportunity to be a servant.
And how long have you been provincial?
I've been provincial for 5 years.
How much longer do you think you'll be provincial?
Just another year and a few months.
Is there something you like most about that job?
Yes, working with the friars, for sure. I really do enjoy that.
And how would you describe your leadership style?
I would describe my leadership style as collaborative.
And what do you think is key to being a really good leader?
Well, partly based on that style is that I know what I can do well, and also that I'm surrounded by people, both friars and lay staff, who actually know quite a bit about a particular area. So listening to their advice, matching it up with our Franciscan values, that's part of my style.
And what did you do before you were elected?
Before I was elected, I was a psychotherapist, I was a pastor, I was a formation director.
Did you have a favorite assignment before this one?
My favorite was my first assignment when in 1981, I helped to start a friary here in the neighborhood where we lived with homeless people, about 10 at a time. Friars all slept in one room on the floor while our guests all had beds at the time.
So you're a priest, right?
So I am a priest, and
do you like being a priest?
I love being a priest. It's such a great opportunity and a great privilege, really.
And what would you say you like most about it?
So, what I like most about being a priest is the opportunity to really celebrate Jesus Christ. Primarily, my favorite way, of course, and more regular way, is through the Mass, both preaching and the liturgical parts of that Mass, but celebrating Christ Jesus.
Do you have a favorite sacrament?
Next to the Mass would be my celebration of reconciliation with people. It's a rare opportunity to be with people in their brokenness and to allow the healing, the attractive healing of Jesus to be there.
And what do you do for fun?
For fun, I actually make greeting cards, so that's kind of an unusual hobby.
And what are you watching on Netflix these days?
So I'm watching I did watch recently The Last Kingdom. It was a great movie to actually watch, a little bit scary at different times.
What would you say is your favorite book?
My favorite book is, my favorite book actually was another person that now I'm graced to live with, Murray Bono's Journey in the Dream.
If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
If I had one superpower, especially right now with all that's happening in the Ukraine, it would be to somehow bring peace, to offer a third option than flight or fight.
Anything you wish you knew when you were younger?
When I was younger, I think I wish I knew how to be confident more. Confident means to believe with. And in this case, it would be to believe that and experience the presence of Christ Jesus enough that He's got my back.
Anything you wish you would have done differently in life?
What I wish I would have done differently? Actually, no. I really like the way life has turned out. So, yeah, that's been good.
And what advice would you give young people in our world today?
What advice would I give to young people? If I had one piece of advice for young people today, it would be to pay attention to your dream, to what's coming up in you, and to follow wholeheartedly that adventure.
What dreams do you have for the church in the near future?
In the near future, I hope we more effectively become the authentic community of Jesus Christ. Authentic meaning more alive, more presenting with people the options of healing, both internally and externally, our world.
What's your prayer for our world today?
The prayer for our world is that we might discover the peace that is Christ. That's the prayer.
And can you offer everyone just one final blessing, please?
Sure. I'd be happy to offer our viewers a blessing. Lord Jesus, we ask for that peace that only you can give. And we ask it for all of our viewers in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
What a great guy.
He's really awesome. He's just such a warm and gentle person.
He's the sort of person you want being in leadership.
Exactly. I completely agree with that. I really admire him.
Yeah, so we thank you for your vocation, Father Mark, and hope that he inspires you as he inspires us to be good leaders, servant leaders, gentle leaders in the faith.
Gentle servant leaders. Yeah, that's the right word.
Mail time. Mail time. Mail time. The mail's here. Come on.
All right, before we leave, we've got a few questions here for mail time. I'm going to jump in here first, and we have a very simple question here. Who is your favorite active Major League Baseball player?
Ooh. I mean, that's easy for me. Javi Baez.
Javi Baez.
El Mago, the magician, you know. He's Puerto Rican, so of course there's a bias there. But
there's a bias there?
There's a bias there. But he has just a fun way of playing the game. Like you can tell he's playing the game. You know, he's enjoying it, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, you know, I don't know if I have a top player at this point. It was Derek Jeter for so long.
Yeah.
Love the man. I don't know, I loved, unfortunately, the three that were in Chicago with Javi Baez and Chris Bryant and Anthony Rizzo. I love watching Anthony Rizzo play these days, just his smile and how much fun he has. So, I mean, that's the first person that comes to mind. I tend to lean towards shortstops just because they're fun to watch, so I love watching Javi as well. But I don't know, Yadier Molina is just incredible to watch.
Yep.
Even in his old age, he is just gunning people down, so always fun.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so my question is, what message can we pass along to kids grades K through 5?
K through 5, yeah. So I would say just stay hungry for knowledge. Always ask questions. I think it's one of the beautiful things that kids always do, and then they get older and they get a little more shy, or they don't want to show that they don't know things. Just keep asking questions. We're adults, and I love knowing things.
Yeah. I think one of the great things about kids is kind of before they're told how the world works, they think about how the world can be. And they see things, you know, with nothing but possibility. And I would like to say that kids should hold on to that.
Yeah.
I think there's an optimism to that allows for a great expression of faith, as well as just a way that allows you to move through the world in a unique kind of way. Let your faith be a unique expression of who you are, as well as, you know, what kind of work you want to do in the future.
Use your imagination, dream big, and then let Christ be in the center of that to guide you.
I mean, that's what led us to do this.
Absolutely. Well, we thank you for your messages. If you'd like to ask us a question, please leave it in the comment or tweet us at KCOFM, or find us on TikTok or Instagram. Check out our pictures. We've had a wonderful time, too much that we can fit in one short episode here. But we hope to catch you next week. Where are we going next?
We are going to Cleveland. We are going to be watching
the Guardians.
The Cleveland Guardians. Yeah, it's
so
going to be a lot of fun.
Then we got Detroit and Toronto, and then next week we'll be in Pittsburgh.
I'm looking forward to Detroit.
Ooh, buddy. Have a wonderful week.